says that we should remove crosses from churches. Now, you won't believe what the reason is for that. The reason is simply because they want well, let me just tell you what it said. This is from WND.com. Now she's a Swedish bishop, lesbian bishop, and you're probably wondering, of what faith she is. She is she's the world's first lesbian bishop of a mainstream Christian denomination. And this is in Sweden, of the Lutheran Church. Bishop Eva Brunn, Brunne, of the Lutheran Church of Sweden, has proposed to remove the Christian symbols of the Siemens Church in Freeport, Sweden, to make it more inviting for visiting sailors from other religions. Now, I know your head is probably swimming right now. Let me repeat this. Now, this isn't too far removed from the liberal mantra in this country about, not having crosses appear in public. Because separation of church and state, and, the appearance of the cross is offensive to so many people. Okay. So let me repeat what this bishop wants to do and the reason why. The bishop Eva Brunn, as in Brunhilda, her last name isn't Hilda, her last name is Brunn, Brunne, and she is a bishop of the Lutheran Church of Sweden. And she's proposed to remove the Christian symbols of the Siemens Church in Freeport, Sweden, to make it more inviting for visiting sailors from other religions. In other words, she wants to invite other religions, i.e. Muslims, to come to her Christian church. I assume so they can destroy it, like they tend to do to Christian centers of worship. Now, her plan calls for removing crosses and other Christian symbols while setting up a prayer room inside the church that marks the direction of Mecca. I kid you not, you have a Lutheran bishop who wants to have a prayer room inside of a Christian church that points towards Mecca. Now, Muslims denounce Jesus Christ as the Son of God, and if she is a Christian, she believes that Jesus is the Son of God, not a minor prophet. Islam reduces Christ to a minor prophet. Oh, yeah, Christ didn't have much to say, man. He was just a minor prophet. He wasn't even a major prophet. Son of God? No, he wasn't even a major prophet, man. He was just a minor prophet. Now, she says making a room available for people of other faiths does not mean that we are not defenders of our own. What do you mean? You're taking down your symbols of your faith. How are you going to defend that? I don't, look, when you go to a house of worship, you do not expect to worship in your denomination if you are not of the denomination that the house of church or the church is. So in other words, you're not going to get a Jew, you're not going to get a person of Jewish faith to walk into a non-synagogue, or, worse yet, how about this? You have a Christian or a Jew who wants to pray to Jesus as the Son of God in a mosque. Do you think Muslims are going to allow you to come in with a cross and pray to Jesus. No, they're not. So what is this notion that this Bishop Brun thinks is going? Look, they're going to come in and try to take over. This is what Islam does. There is no other excuse for. You can't make room. I don't. You know, this is one of the most ridiculous ways to start off a week. Look, I know, I fully understand that you're probably thinking, well, Rod, this is in Sweden, not here. Understand, a liberal is a liberal is a liberal is a liberal, no matter where they are. And do not think for a minute that this woman is in the liberal minority as far as liberals are concerned all over the world. She is in the liberal majority in believing that we need to take down and stop believing or stop boasting about Jesus Christ, because after all, you know, everybody hates the West and everybody hates Christians because of Jesus. That's the only reason. It has nothing to do with our tenets of our faith at all. No. Look, there. You know, we've had the the Unitarian Universalist Church have accepted gays openly. They do gay marriages, but not only that, they accept the notion that there is more than one way to heaven. Jesus said, "I am the way, I am the light. No one comes to the Father except by me." And the Universalist Unitarian Church says, no. There are many ways to God, many ways to get in heaven. Jesus is just one way. Now, what he didn't really mean that he was the only way. No. He meant for some Christians, for some early Christians of the day. Yeah, because there were no other Christian denominations, and there was no other thought on it. So yeah, at that time he was the only one. But as we have, moved away 2,000 plus years from Jesus, there are multiple ways to get to heaven and to get before in the presence of God. So it's not. Jesus is not. So I guess what Bishop Eva Brun is doing is taking the Universalist, Unitarian, Universalist, whatever, all-inclusive, universally inclusive church, is to bring that type of mindset into the Lutheran body, where we're gonna have rooms for. Why is it Muslims are gonna get a prayer room? How about Sikhs? Or, one of the various Hindu religions or gods. Why not have a Hindu room? And why not have a Jewish room, a Jewish synagogue room? Why is it only Muslims are getting we're going to point the room or point the direction in the room towards Mecca so they can go in there and pray? I wonder what they would. What would a Muslim or an Islamist do if they heard some Christian Gregorian chant in the sanctuary? I think that would be a little distracting when you're trying to pray to your own God, who isn't the same God as these people worshiping that God. Plain and simple. I mean, I don't understand the stupid. You can't fix stupid. I got it. Trust me, I get it. But it doesn't mean that I shouldn't. Just because you cannot fix stupid doesn't mean I'm not going to, point it out whenever it rears its ugly head, because it's important to try to stop these types of people from making public policy, which will then in turn directly and indirectly all of us. Plain and simple. This making room available for people of other faiths does not mean that we're not defenders of our own faith. Priests are called to proclaim Christ. We do that every day and in every meeting with every person, according to Brun. But that does not mean that we are stingy toward people and other items. I don't know how it's stingy for wanting people who are in your denomination to want to come out and worship in their own denomination without having a bunch of other people there that do not share their beliefs. Look, if I go to a church, if I go to a Southern Baptist church, I don't want to walk in and find out that there's a Catholic service going on. Why? That one would be a little bit confusing and disconcerting. And two, it's not of the same faith. Now, I believe that people should, Christians should come together as Christians and worship, God and Christ as the body of Christ. But I'm not going to get into a denominational, theoretical spiel here. But let's face it, there are some distinct differences within all of the, there are lots of distinct differences within the Christian denominations alone. But now you're going to start adding Islam? You're going to invite Islamists into your sanctuary and give them space where they do not, you're trying to accept people who do not accept you. Do you understand that, Bishop Brun? You're trying to be nice. They're seeing it as weakness, and they are going to exploit it to the nines. Don't doubt me on this, because that's what they always do. They take whatever you and I, what we try to do as far as being regular, normal people, that are caring, because, they let's put it this way. They're taking advantage of the fact that you and I are Christian. And they make no bones about it, by the way. By the way, might I add that while she's accepting Muslims into her church and to allow them to pray, 12 Christians were executed by ISIS who refused to renounce Christ. Now, according to the story from W&D, one of the women looked up and seemed to be almost smiling as she said, Jesus. So 12 Christians have been brutally executed by the Islamic State, including the 12-year-old son of a Syrian ministry team leader who had planted 9 churches because they refused to renounce the name of Jesus and embrace Islam. The martyrs were faithful to the very end. Right before one woman was beheaded by the terror group, she appeared to be smiling slightly as she said, Jesus. And yet, these are the people that this wonderful Lutheran bishop, Bishop Eva Brun, wants to invite into her church because she wants to be open and welcoming to all faiths. That's not being open and welcoming. That's being foolish. That's being idiotic. Oh, hell, let's not even mince words. That's just being plain stupid. Now, according to Christian Aid Mission, a humanitarian group which assists indigenous Christian workers in their native countries, the horrific murders took place on August 28th in an unnamed village outside Aleppo, Syria. Who, by the way, Putin seems to be giving them just what they want and pounding them back into the 6th century. Something that we failed to do under Obama. Putin seems to be accomplishing that by pounding the ISIS rebels or ISIS terrorists back into the century from whence they would like us to return. But instead of doing that, this woman thinks, this Bishop Eva Brun, she thinks for sure that having, I guess what she believes in is what a lot of liberal leftist idiots think, is that if we're just nice to them and be inclusive with them, they'll like us more. Yeah, they're going to like you so much because they're going to bring in all their weapons of destruction and behead you. Man, really, even in Sweden, You just can't fix stupid.